Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is an all new PCDC podcast in honor of Adam West, who unfortunately passed away at age 88. He had a short battle with leukemia, and I just want to make this quick podcast in memory of him and really go over my memories of Adam West as not only Batman but as an actor. Now, Adam West was not the Batman I grew up with. A lot of people, that was their Batman. I grew up with Michael Keaton and Kevin Conroy on Batman the Animated Series from Fox. But as a Batman fan and a kid, I was aware of the Adam West Batman. The TV series would always be on reruns on TV Land, and also the 1966 Batman film would also show on HBO and Encore from time to time. So I was familiar with Adam West's Batman, and sure it's campy, sure it's silly, but to me, it just captured the zeitgeist at that moment, and it was a perfect representation of the Batman comics at that time. It was very, very faithful. Not many people really remember that, but it actually was faithful to the comics at the time. I mean, just look at his suit. It's just like the 60s comics, but he had a great cast. You had Adam West, Burt Ward, Julie Newmar, Frank Gorshin, Burgess Meredith, Rocky's trainer, Cesar Romero. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Freaking Vincent Price even played Egghead. I mean, it is just an array of people on Adam West's Batman. It lasted for 3 seasons, and then after the second season, it had a film. So that really speaks volumes, and for the longest time, that's what kept Batman alive. I mean, we think that Batman and Robin to Batman Begins was a long gap with 8 years, but try going from like the late 60s to almost the 90s with the 89 Batman. That was a long time, and Adam West's Batman was like the only Batman that people really knew. That's what basically made him knowledgeable about the character. Now, Adam West did many other things besides act as Batman. He was in other projects, other films before, and TV shows. Also, he has a really, really large library of voice work. Mayor Adam West on Family Guy. He also was on the animated series for 90s kids out there that remember. He was the Gray Ghost in the episode Beware of the Gray Ghost. That was such a cool episode because not only is it just heartfelt, but you have a passing of the torch in the way that, like Christopher Reeve on Smallville in that season 2 episode Rosetta, you had that type of dialogue and just meeting between two characters of different generations. So you had basically Bruce Wayne idolize the Gray Ghost and the actor, and that's Adam West. You have him voice acting with Kevin Conroy to solve a case. So you get like a Batman from a previous generation to like the next generation's Batman and put them together, and that's just so epic, heartfelt, and just perfect. It's one of my favorite episodes of the show. And I think he was like the only Batman, besides Ben Affleck recently, but he was like 6'2", that was actually the same height as Batman in the comics, which is pretty rare. I think the only one that's like around 6 feet, but I don't know if he's 6'2", is Ben Affleck recently from Batman Superman and also in the upcoming Justice League. But it's just sad that he passed away, but at least he lived a full life. And I'm glad that he got recognized. People recognize his other work besides Batman. Batman was appreciated. He got the star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I was just happy that everything went full circle and that he got the appreciation he deserved in the later years of his life. They resolved the rights issues with the Batman series, so you got to have his image used in the comics, like Batman 66, crossover with Green Hornet. You got to have him in the 70s meet Linda Carter's Wonder Woman. I just love how they use her likeness. I wish they'd do that for more things. And also, you have the series again. You got to have him do a retrospective documentary on the series, on the Blu-ray, and promote it. And that's just so cool that some of these actors can finally be appreciated in their work. And he, like William Shatner, faced some tough casting in the 70s because nobody really wanted to cast them. They were kind of typecast in a way where they're stuck with these characters from a 60s show. So he overcame alcoholism supposedly in the 1970s, which I did not know. That is just amazing. And I think what's also amazing is that he's just a kind, humble individual. He seemed like a very down to earth man, and I really wish I got to meet him. I could kick myself in the butt right now. Uh, he was at the Dallas Comic Con, Fan Expo Dallas, with Burt Ward. It was Adam West, Burt Ward, about 3 months ago. I had some stuff with family, plus gas money and everything. I didn't get a chance to go, and I really wish I did because I really wanted to meet him. He showed everyone how it was done, and he was the first television Batman. His performance as Batman and the show influenced everything to come in some small way or another. I mean, he exactly wasn't like Christopher Reeve as far as his personas, but he had the smallest altercation to his voice as Bruce Wayne compared to Batman. Even though it did sound like Adam West, he was one that really just played it as two separate people, but not entirely, but just the smallest altercation so people wouldn't suspect that Bruce Wayne is Batman. It wasn't just him playing a guy in a suit. He was devoted to the role, and he owned that role. And that was so cool about him, because you have so many like childhood heroes or people we know from television shows we grew up with, and some of them just hate the character. They're not like anything the character represents in the shows. And Adam West was one of those few people who was like Batman, if not even better than Batman. He was one of those people who appreciated fans. He appreciated the work, the character, the legacy. He wasn't annoyed about him being recognized for one role. I mean, they have other roles, but like that was an honor to him to be Batman. He was Batman. And there was a funny quote that he said a couple of years back. They interviewed him, and he's just like, I never had to say I'm Batman. I walked in the room and everybody knew who I was. It's just crazy. But on the TV show, supposedly the producer of the TV show was at the Playboy Mansion, and Hugh Hefner had an idea saying that it'd be cool Batman was on TV. And supposedly that's how it started, out of all places. That's in the Dark Knight Returns Blu-ray special features, if I'm not mistaken, but I may be wrong there. But it's just crazy how it got started that way. They went through a number of screen tests, and they eventually got Adam West and Burt Ward, and they remained close friends even after the TV series. And that's just so cool that finally he can be recognized, that people are aware of as Batman. But yeah, it influenced so much. And you also had the Return of the Caped Crusaders. I have not had the pleasure of seeing it yet. I want to. Julie Newmar reprised his role as Catwoman. And you also have Batman vs. Two-Face, which has William Shatner as Two-Face. Amazing. They originally were going to get him in the 60s show before it got canceled, and they weren't sure how to approach the Two-Face character. But it's kind of cool that they have that now. And with his passing, I was kind of worried, is he going to be Batman for that? Supposedly, he finished voice recording with William Shatner in 2016, so sometime this year, Adam West is going to be Batman one last time in Batman vs. Two-Face. That's just amazing that after so many years he can reprise that character and still be associated with it. But you have the shark repellent scene, the bat dance. There's that one episode where he's talking as both Bruce Wayne and Batman. So many crazy, zany stuff, and I mean, the shark thing is so iconic that even Batman Arkham City had a part where he had to beat up a shark. Like, it's just crazy. Lego Batman made references to it. It's just sad and unfortunate that he has left us, but you know, even though Adam West has left us, his work in animation, film, television, live action, animated, you know, it's going to live on. His Batman is going to live on forever in the mythos. And he showed everybody how it's done, you know? It's just like he was the first one. And now you have the darker ones, but I loved it because you can. I don't mind campiness. I like it when it's all camp or all dark. But when you start mixing campiness with darkness, it just gets weird. It's gonna be like Batman Forever or like Gotham, where it sometimes gets campy and then dark. And I don't like what it's both. But his Batman knew what it was, and he didn't take himself too seriously as a person or as Batman. That was such an amazing thing about it. I mean, it's just he's a very rare individual. He was a very rare individual. And here's to you, old chum. May you rest in peace. And hopefully, maybe you can see some of the Rogues Gallery up in heaven. Yvonne Craig's Batgirl, she recently passed away as well, a couple of years back. And even though he's gone, his work will live on. And we're fortunate enough to see his Batman, to see his later on performances of the character, his other roles, his range. And above all, it's great that he got a lot of recognition and everything towards the later years of his life. And it's a very rare thing. And most of the people in the world would be better off if they were more like Adam West. So here's to you, old chum, and I just wanted to express my feelings. Also, I forgot one thing. Does anybody remember that film from 2003, Return to the Batcave: The Adventures of Burt and Ward? That was a crazy movie. You had younger actors basically reenacting the film scenes, but it's basically Adam West and Burt Ward looking for the Batmobile. And you have Julie Newmar and Frank Gorshin there stealing it. Like, it's just bizarre, but it's just so funny. It's just like a throwback, but it's just funny seeing all of them at an older age playing those characters, you know. I remember seeing that on TV. I was like, wow. But yeah, it was quite a legacy, and again, with the influences of Batman, you could definitely tell where Tim Burton drew from Bruce Timm. It's almost like you have a custodian for the character, and he helped Batman live on. I mean, you have the Neil Adams in the 1970s, but it wasn't until '89. So for that period of time, Adam West was our Batman. You know. And I'm just thankful that he kept it alive so long. You could definitely tell where Tim Burton, Bruce Timm, Joel Schumacher even. Without the Adam West Batman, you may have never even had Batman Forever or Batman and Robin. And I know where Batman and Robin led to, but you may have never had a Dark Knight. I mean, you have Anne Hathaway. She looks just like Julie Newmars. Anyway, yeah, quite a legacy, and he will forever live on in the Batman mythos. And I just wanted to express my feelings and thoughts on this Adam West situation here. I had to take a couple of days to process it because when I found out the news, I was like, this one hurts. So even this Roger Moore, it seems like all our heroes are leaving us, but there's heroes that will continue to hold the torch, continue the legacy that Adam West and many others, Bob Kane, Bill Finger, just many other people have carried on with this character. And I even remember Blank Man, where they're watching Batman. I mean, it's just so iconic. But besides its campiness and silliness, it must say something if it's still this popular 50 years later and people could still resonate with Adam West Batman. I think there was just a little bit more magic in there than people let on believe. But anyway, that is it for this PCDC podcast. May Adam West rest in peace. And yeah, feel free in the comments below. Let me know, what are your favorite Adam West moments, and what are your memories of Adam West as a Batman growing up and seeing his works, Mayor Adam West, stuff like that. And yeah, I may make some type of tribute video on my other channel, but until then, that is all. And yeah, holy rusted metal, Batman, to the Batcave.